Well, apples, peaches, watermelon, peaches. We all got something, so we gotta eat them. Alright, well, anyways, we're live. So, alright, well, anyways, we're live. So, alright, well, anyways, we're live.
Okay.
So,
And I'm just gonna,
alright, well, anyways, we're live.
Mute this real quick. So then, this is me being very unready. What will we episode like 10? So 10. What we gonna title this one?
Before we even good vibes. How about that?
Alright, good vibes.
Good vibes.
Cool.
Is this episode 10?
I think, yeah, it is episode 10. Believe it or not.
Wow. Yeah, wow, we hit double digits. That's
Wow.
way longer than I would have thought we would be doing this for.
Yeah, it's not like we skipped a week or something. Totally a lot. Totally not.
Well,
like
I meant more so that we were at 10 episodes total. I thought we would be done by like episode 2.
Yeah, I've yeah. Don't know why. Don't know why.
Here we are, still going at it.
Yep.
Still doing it.
So, Dominic, what are we going to talk about this weekend?
Well, this weekend.
Yep.
This weekend. Wow. You mean today?
Yeah.
Or do I have to wait for the weekend?
Every day's a weekend when you're unemployed. Okay,
That's
so
true.
I think what we're doing today is we're going to do a little bit of character development, but before we get to that, first thing on the docket is, so how was your 2 weeks, Dominic?
It was pretty okay, you know?
Ooh.
I studied.
Ooh, it was pretty good. Okay.
I studied, I passed my stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I did it, and now, you know, I've been vibing. Been doing stuff, been reading some books. I've been reading this book called Behave, the Good and Bad, or Humans at Behave, the fucking dots, colon, humans at their best and worst. It's pretty good. It's about like neurotransmitters on the brain and shit. It's pretty interesting. It's a good book. Aside from that, not too much, you know? Just working, reading, fighting demons. You know, the usual.
Fighting
How about you, my
demons?
friend? Yes, sir.
Like, literally?
Yes.
What
they,
type
you
of
know,
demons?
it depends. It depends on the day. You know, sometimes it's just your regular, you know, goat hoofed, two horns devil. But sometimes it's like the Chainsaw Man ones. You know, the spicy ones, the weird looking ones. Man, Chainsaw Man has fucking great. And anyway, yeah, it's been my week. You know, been pretty good, I would say. How about you, Kevin? How was your 2 weeks?
So last week I was doing exams.
Nice.
The week before, did I tell you about the group members?
How they like screwed you over, or you just told your prof like, hey,
I
they
don't
didn't do
think I've told
anything?
it on this podcast yet, but I sure told
That's
everyone
true.
because it really pissed me off for a week. So
Uh-oh.
basically, these two bucks joined my group, right? I say my group because I created the group and I was only like expecting one person to join, and that was it, right? I told this one guy, hey, join this group because I know you from last term and we're cool. He joined, and then they came and like, hey, can we join your group? I'm like, okay, sure, you can join my group. So as to make a card game in Java with all the whole systems design bullshit, right?
Yes, sir.
So the term was from the start, well, like halfway through April to August 19th, which was last week. Okay?
Yeah.
So ever since the start of May, they have never contacted me until like fucking July or June, like end of June, early July. So that's 2 months without any sort of contact, right? And this is after I set up everything. Well, okay, we should get started. This is what we should be doing, right?
Yeah.
Um, so I didn't know this before, but it was a guy and a girl, and apparently they're a couple. And I didn't know they were a couple because one person joined and then the other person joined,
Hmm.
right? So then after I found out they're a couple, I'm like, okay, whatever. As long as they get the work done, it's perfectly fine. But then the girl would
Yeah.
do nothing. Like she literally during like labs and shit, she was the lady that called me up in the middle of a fucking online lab, going like, please help me install AnyDesk, install like this fucking team viewing device or like computer remote control device,
Oh.
and just fucking help me. I'm like, okay, we're both in the middle of a fucking lab right now. Like, I'm not gonna
Oh.
do that, right?
Yeah.
And then apparently my other boy, he was like, yeah, the lady literally went like, can you do my Java project for me because I don't know Java? I'm like, how the fuck do you not know Java? Like, what? What do you mean you don't know Java? This is the second term. First term, if you don't know Java, all right, that makes sense. But we're past first term. We're well past that point. So like, you should know Java, right? What the fuck is a loop, lol? Like, are you fucking kidding? All right. Anyways, so girl's completely incompetent, right? And
Yeah.
I've never been so sure of shit in my life, but I'm like a good 90% sure she doesn't know anything she's doing. Not just so systems design and Java are two different courses, right? Systems
Okay.
design, we're essentially designing the system, right? So like
Hmm.
essentially the framework. Java is we're actually coding the thing, right? So
Yeah.
she doesn't know how to code the thing, which is a problem. But we're in systems design, so she's more fucked because she doesn't know how to design anything, anyways. So here we are in systems design, and she's like, yeah, I don't know what to do. So then that one time I helped her with the whole framework of getting onto GitHub and like setting up a repo and then just, oh, this is what you're supposed to be doing. And then she goes like, yeah, can you help me with the coding? I was like, this isn't part of the scope of the course. I'm not going to help you with that. Right.
Yeah.
And then, so we have a final project. Two of the three parts I did by myself. We got 90s on them. And
Nice.
and that last part, it was so the last part was all the coding for the game. So the first two parts was like, here's a project proposal, here's the framework we're gonna use, right? Like here's the framework that we've developed and prototype so far, that I've developed and prototype so far. Um, like they had, you know how when someone goes like, oh, I should probably help you with that. It's like, yeah, okay. They've literally done nothing of that. They didn't even go like, hey, do you need help with that? They was like just fucking dead silent. My other boy was like, hey, listen, I'm gonna give this a try. I'm gonna help you with it. I was like, okay, I appreciate it. He did it. It wasn't too good, but like, I improved upon it, and then we did it. At least he
That,
fucking tried.
yes, sir. Effort was made.
Yeah, they just went fucking radio silent. I'm like, okay, and then comes the fucking last part of the course where it's like, okay, we actually have to make the thing. I tried making the thing by myself. It was way too fucking big for me to make it by myself. So then I asked them, I was like, hey, can you guys do this part, like we agreed in the fucking contract? And then we had a group meeting. Lady doesn't show. I'm like, yeah, like I already sent like a thing to the prof already, and I'm like, if she's just not gonna show up, then I'm just not gonna give her any marks, right? And
Yeah.
then right after that meeting, she fucking calls me on WhatsApp and starts texting me like crazy on WhatsApp and I'm like, fucking I'm in the group, please like just tell me what to do, I'll do the work and all that stuff. I'm like, because the guy was there for the meeting. The guy was there for the meeting. So the guy must have told the girl. And then of course comes all the fucking excuses like, oh, I was at work, I was doing this, I was doing that. I'm like, fucking great, buddy. But like, no, you know? So of course I got the whole participation form, right? And then I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
listen, you have to show up to the next meeting. Like otherwise, like you just went no contact with me for like fucking 2 months now, right?
Yeah.
Out of a 4 month term. So like show up to the next meeting and we'll discuss like what we can do, right? Shows up to the next meeting. I'm like, okay, listen, this is what we agreed upon in the team contract. This is what you're supposed to do, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then and of course she just goes like, yeah, I'm not actually really good at Java, so I'm just gonna help the other person, like help her boyfriend or something with what he does. I'm like, okay, great. So now you're both going to do that, right? Like, here's your
Okay.
task, here's his task, combine them together. This is what you guys are doing. You're a collective now, you know?
That seems fair.
That is fair, because, like, I know she's trying to
Yeah.
fucking skimp out on work, you know?
Of
And the
course.
guy literally, like, he didn't even do anything that the project proposal said. I was just showing him what I've done so far, right? I've literally done like half the project already. I'm showing him
Yeah.
what I've done so far, and then I'm just working on this method. So he
Mhm.
was like, "Oh, I'll do that method." I'm like, "Oh, okay, I guess, sure, whatever. You can do this method, right?"
Yeah.
And then fucking, so I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna check up on you. It was, I remember this clearly. It was a Thursday. I'm just like, I'm gonna check up on you on Sunday, okay? Look over my code because I did a lot of stuff already, right? Like a lot
Yeah.
of shit already got done. Look it over. If there's any problems, ask me. There's comments everywhere. So like, if something's unclear, ask me what my thought process is because like it's not, you're adding to this thing, right? Like
Yeah.
it's you're looking at a thing you're supposed to make and add to it, and some like I might not be clear with it. So then Sunday rolls along. I ask him, or okay, there was pushback from them going like Sunday's way too soon, man. I got work. I'm like, it's okay, just look it over. I'm not asking you to do anything by Sunday. I'm just asking you to look it over, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then of course Sunday comes along, or I texted him Monday actually. I'm like, hey, did you look at anything? He was like, no, sorry, I was busy with assignments and work all day. And he got like, what is it? It's like a ear infection or like some sort of allergy or some shit, right? Well, I got an allergy. I didn't do it. I'm like, okay, whatever. Wednesday rolls along. I text him, no answer, right? And then I'm like, so I go to my other boy and I was like, yeah, they didn't do shit. Like,
Yeah.
and then of course I tell the prof the next week. I was like, yeah, I gave them like a week to do one method, and they have not done anything, right?
Yeah.
So then I ask them, it's like, all right, like, do I even? Because I don't want to say, hey, listen, you guys didn't do anything, so I'm gonna give you zeros. Like, do I give them a little bit more time or something? Like, do I, like, I at this rate, I want to get the project done,
Mm-hmm.
right? But like they're literally not giving me any sort of fucking chance. So, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, so then anyways, so I pretty much did all that shit and on the Monday, so I gave him another week, right? Still no reply, still nothing. I'm like, okay, so I'm just gonna go do everything. I did everything, and 2 weeks after, so this is like a week before we have to get the project like handed in, right?
Yes.
The guy sends me something, and this was like August, August 12th, I guess, right? Or like, yeah, the week before. So then he sends me something on Tuesday, and then he was like, "All right, I did everything. I did like I got the whole project completed. I did everything, right?" I'm like, "Wow, okay." So I take a look, right? So we're given a base code, right? So a
Yes.
base code, it's essentially think of it like a skeleton of what we have to add onto it,
Yeah.
right? That's the template. He didn't have the template for some reason. He had everything. Well, by the looks of it, working. I didn't really test it all that much, but by the looks of it, it was working. But he didn't
Okay.
have any of the base template, and we have to have the base template. So I'm like, I'm thinking like, okay, so you didn't do anything for like 2 to 3 months, and then you come back within like 2 weeks having completed everything after you
Maybe
complained about like how hard work is and all that stuff.
maybe he redeemed himself, you know? He's like,
Yeah,
hey,
I was like, okay, well, this is impressive, maybe, right? But I was sort of sketched out, and then of course he goes like, just check it over, check it on Turnitin. I'm like, why?
yeah,
So check it on
there it is.
that. Maybe like I looked at some YouTube videos and did stuff. I'm like, okay, sure. Um, so then I looked it over, and I'm like, okay, first of all, this has nothing to do with what I've written so far, right? He essentially took, I don't know where the fuck he got everything from, but he, I had all my work online. He could have just taken my work, added some shit to it, and said I did something. But
Yeah.
instead, he went and copied someone else's work that they had online that didn't have the fucking skeleton template that we were given, didn't have the base code. And then he
Uh,
says it was really hard to integrate everything. I was like, what do you mean by integrate? You know, put it into our code. I'm like, okay. So I just copied and pasted it. I'm like, what do you mean? And what he did was he copy and pasted. So there's a comment header, okay, for our
yeah.
base code. He copied and pasted the fucking comment header. It's all comments. He didn't even add his fucking name to it either, which is okay. But it's basically saying this course name, right? This is the base code for blah blah blah, something something. So it's all comments, right? It doesn't actually affect the code at all. It's like a banner, right? He copied and pasted that onto the board he copied and sent it to me. Uh, and then he's like, "Oh yeah, I did everything in the contract." I'm like, "Okay." And then he was, "Oh, it felt like he was real cocky about it too." And it was like, "Oh yeah, I did everything too. So like everything's there. I got the whole game working. I only sent you the parts I needed to do." I'm like, "Okay, why would you do that?" But all right. And then I'm like, "Okay." So then I asked him, I was like, "Why didn't you use anything I've written so far?" Right? And then he was like, "Oh no, I got the whole game working. Do you want to see?" I was like, "Yeah, show me." So then, when we create a project, we have a default package. So it's basically like here's a package of all the code, right? And the default name is like Sheridan College, blah blah blah, right?
Yeah.
He sent me a folder, had two packages in it. One was Sheridan College with whatever the fuck he copy and paste from the banner, and one just said default package with all the things that work, right?
Sure.
So, the fucking guy, I was asking him, hey, did you do everything in the default package? Because the default package sure didn't look like you did anything. There was no comments anywhere, right? So, comments
Yeah.
usually you put there in front of like all the things you add so you can keep track of what you did and how to fix it and stuff. No
Mm-hmm.
comments anywhere, right? No skeleton project, no nothing, right? And I'm like, okay, this doesn't look right. And for some reason, they're using another import that we've never used before, serializable. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, well, I have no idea what this does, right? So I don't know don't know what's going on here. And then of course he tries to pass it off as his, and of course I tell the prof about it. I'm like, listen, this looks super sketchy, right? This has
Mm-hmm.
nothing to do with what I've done so far. I'm not going to use this because I don't even know how to put this in, right?
Yeah.
And then I told him, I was like, listen, if you got the whole thing done, so I told the prof was like, okay, you can step away. I'm like, okay, great, perfect. I'm going to do that, right? I'm just going to give you a 0 on the participation form, and then you hand your shit in, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
I told the prof about it. Prof said, okay, step away. I told them, I was like, listen, I'm not going to integrate this. If you got the whole thing working, you could hand that in. Just give me a 0. And then fucking the lady comes like, are we in the group or not? I'm like, okay. So like, I didn't tell them I knew it was plagiarized, right? But like, so yeah, that's
Oh
what got me
fuck.
really mad. It was like, bitch,
Yo, fuck.
you basically ghosted me on a group project for 3 months, and then at the last fucking minute, you come in with plagiarized code, pretending like you did fucking everything. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah. That's terrible.
Yeah,
That's
but
genuinely
best part
so bad.
is I finished up the code, basically like 2 days before, like the weekend
Mm-hmm.
before, and then handed it in. And then my other buddy, he was like, "Oh yeah, I saw this code before. It was like a template I told you guys about in the group project, like the first meeting, right?" He was like,
Yeah.
if shit goes bad, we could just reference this to see like what we should do and take some ideas from that." And then I looked at it. exact duplicate copy. He essentially just copied everything from that one over. And then I was like, you know what? Fuck these guys. So I sent the prof a mail. I'm like, listen, I know you can't do anything about it right now, but if he hands in whatever the fuck he showed me, this is where he copied it from. Like,
Nice,
yeah.
man.
So like,
Pretty good.
honestly, fuck those guys. Holy shit.
Yeah, they're pieces of shit. Oh man.
I got an 88 on the final though, so
Hey, you're chilling,
hey.
bro. You did it.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, man. Oh wow, wow. That's wow.
Like,
that's just terrible.
fucking audacity of those bitches. Like, what?
Yeah, straight up, straight up. Do nothing. Fucking.
Do nothing, give me fucking
Say,
shitty excuses. Make up better excuses, even, you know? Don't go like, oh, I had work. Fucking, yeah, we all have work to do. Like,
yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm sure I'm sure that they probably had at some point in time, even if they're working or whatever, have other courses. I'm sure they probably had time to do the bare fucking minimum, and they didn't even do
they
that.
didn't even go like, hey, the funny part is like, he said he'd do the method, and then he comes back with like copied shit. I'm like, okay, so you said you do the method, and then you come back with different stuff. Like, what the fuck is going on, man? Like,
Yeah, pretty bad. That's pretty bad.
yeah. Oh, and best part is I documented all the, so I took photos of all the conversation logs and sent it to the prof as well. So if he tries to come back on me with that, I'm like, there it is. No.
Yeah,
There
yeah.
you
Fair
go.
enough. Fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was that group project.
That was pretty. That sounds like an eventful 2 weeks you had, my guy.
No, it's just like, if they just went silent and didn't give me the fucking plagiarized crap,
Yeah.
I would have been like, okay, whatever, right? Like, they just went silent, they didn't do anything. Here's a zero. They could hand in whatever. Oh, best part is they actually did try to. So we got this thing called enums, right? So it's essentially this new tactful thing we learn about in software design.
Yeah.
It's you basically take a bunch of like commonly used essentially constants in a way, right? And you put them into a list, and then you can call upon the list in different ways,
Okay.
right?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So I had one inside my thing for all the suits and for all the values, right? Because
Hmm.
if you want to make a card, you have to have the suit, which is called upon at least 4 times, right? So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna make one with all the suits, and then just call upon it like we would usually. And he had one in his. So the enums thing is sort of like a component, right? So a class is essentially, this is what a class does. Here are what it essentially, you have to have an output, right?
Hmm.
Enums is a component. When he sent me the code, he just had a random fucking class called suits, and in it was just enums of suits.
Nice.
Lowercase, by the way, which is not, that's not right. That's to be uppercase, but he just had
Otherwise,
that.
you can't call it, I guess.
No, it's naming conventions, right? So usually if you're doing like constants and stuff, it's all uppercase.
Okay.
So um he just had a class with enums. You like, it was just essentially like a brick just sitting in the middle of nowhere with like copied code as the other thing. Nothing called
Nice.
it, nothing called upon it.
Hmm.
It was, I was looking and I was like, what is this for? I was looking at the other classes. It never uses it. It's just suits because it wanted suits there. Like, okay. Uh,
Yeah, that's terrible.
it's so fucking stupid, man.
Yeah. Yeah, man. That's why group projects pretty bad. Pretty bad.
Yeah. And
Pretty
also,
bad.
What was that other one? Oh, interface designs. Interface design wasn't hard. It was honestly it was a walk in the park. Group project as well. I had one guy that did stuff. One guy that just he kept on kissing my ass. I shit you not. He kept on kissing my ass. He was like, "Oh
Ooh.
my god, dude, let me e-transfer you for all the fucking work you've done. We got 95. Holy shit. Holy crap. I'm so lucky to
Ooh.
have you in my team." I'm like,
Oh, whoa.
I don't like literally did nothing. Right? Literally did nothing. And yeah, but I'm like, you know what? I don't even care because this one's easy.
Yeah.
Like, but the ones that are hard, that I expect people to do stuff in. I guess he. I feel like I'm really. I don't want to sound cocky, but I guess he lucked out. You know that course was fucking easy as shit. Because if it was a harder course, I would have went to his ass on it.
Yeah.
Like, and even then, the guy that did do something, he asked me, he's like, "Hey, yeah, we're all supposed to do like one interview. Like, we only have two inside here. We're a group of three. We should have one more." It's like, I no, like I did mine. Just fucking figure it out.
Yep.
I'm okay with losing the marks. I don't give a shit. You know. So yeah, that was it.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yep. Yeah.
So,
Yep. So.
oh no, go. If you have something to say, go ahead, because I'm
Yeah.
gonna,
No. I was also worried about my exam marks last week too, because
Yeah.
I thought I did well, but apparently I didn't do that well.
That's how it goes.
But it's
That's how
okay
it goes.
because I passed everything.
Yeah, man,
Everything was
that's what
passed.
matters. You did it. You
I
passed the
did it.
course.
I'm a good boy doing good
You're a
things.
good boy. You did it.
I'm a good. My name is Sal. I'm no longer a bartender. Okay.
What?
It's this thing from Impractical Jokers where
Oh,
okay, listen. This bit was good. He
all
had
right.
this guy he had this guy pretending to be a receptionist, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he was like all right, Sal, can you play your like self-motivational thing, Maduber, right?
Yeah.
And then the self-motivational speech, he had to play on the speakers, right? He had to ask everyone in the rooms like, "It's okay if he plays it." And then
Oh,
the thing was literally like,
yeah.
"My name is Sal. I can do this job. I'm not gonna get fired like I did in my last job. I'm no longer a bartender. I'm Sal." You know, he just kept on repeating over and over again on the speaker, and he was
Nice.
like, "Oh god." Everyone in the room's fucking laughing at him. Was like, okay, yeah. So yeah, my name's Sal. I can
My
do this
name.
job.
My name is Sal. Who the fuck just called me? You know, you would think that I would pick up the phone, but you know, we're in a podcast. But that wouldn't change anything.
I'm Sal.
To a number I
I
don't
can
know.
do this job. I won't fail like all my
No
previous
voicemails are
jobs.
probably not important. Am I right, my friend?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. That's how we do it.
I'm
So,
not a bartender anymore. I'm
a couple of
Sal.
things happened, you know, the last 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. You know, the classic is that Chainsaw Man trailer drop, Kevin. I don't know if you saw it, man. Looks
Yeah.
fucking
So
clean.
the
Looks
first one or second
clean.
one?
The second one.
Second one. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You saw it, right?
Yeah.
Looks fucking clean, bro. It
That's pretty
looks so
good.
good. Animation style looks amazing. Um, I don't know if you noticed, but the voice actor who's playing Power is also the same one as Jolene from Part 6 of JoJo. Fantastic, good. That's amazing. Just, oof.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, man, sick. But there's a bunch of I think it's a bunch of other unknown voice actors for the rest, though. I think I might be wrong. But yeah, it looks good. I don't know about you, Kevin, but I sort of expected Makima's voice to be a little bit deeper.
Who's
But
Makima?
Makina, whatever. The redhead chick.
You mean
Makima.
Power?
Makima, yeah, that's her name. Makima. Bro.
Oh, Kazuma.
Kazuma. I'm Kazuma. Anyway. But I think I'm either way. I'm very excited. I'm very excited. It looks so good. It's gonna be amazing. Chainsaw Man's incredible. New. Oh, I don't know. I don't know if you're still keeping up with Chainsaw Man at all. I'm assuming not.
I am.
Oh, you are? Cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're doing like a bi-weekly release schedule now for it.
Oh shit.
Yeah, new chapter every 2 weeks. But I think there, as a result, there's like more pages per chapter. I think like the last one that came out was 50 pages. It's pretty good.
What if there was a polio devil?
Polio Devil.
Yeah.
They're... Would there be a polio? I don't think there would be. If there is a polio devil, it's probably not that strong, right? You know what I mean?
Well, it depends on what time.
It does depend on the time frame.
What
right?
about Doomsday Devil?
Doomsday Devil, like or like Apocalypse Devil, yeah, man.
No, not
Probably.
Apocalypse, just Doomsday.
The Doomsday.
Yeah.
That's probably up
What
there.
about God Devil?
God Devil? I know, man. God Devil is probably like one of the top tier ones, right? It has to be,
which
right?
god?
Doesn't matter. It could be any of them, right?
What about Jesus Devil?
Jesus Devil.
You know, like think about it. Like during the Holy Christian Wars, right? Or like during the Crusades, all the Muslims would be like, "Fuck that Jesus Christ guy, man," you know. Then all the Christian bros would be like, "Fuck that Allah dude, man," you know. It'd be like an Allah devil and a Jesus devil, and they could just like, you know. And it depends on like which one fears the other more. And then it turns out like Allah actually retook Jerusalem. Yeah.
Yeah, man. You kind of said it already, but I don't think our viewer knows. Maybe he does. But the way the devils work in Chainsaw Man is they're based off of human fears. So the more, like, if it's a fear someone has, that a devil gets created from it. Let's say the stronger fears, the stronger the devil. Simple stuff. So yeah, Jesus Devil. But are people afraid of Jesus though? I don't think people are afraid of Jesus. They're afraid of God, sure, but I don't think people are like, oh no, it's Jesus. You know? Oh,
I'm Sal. I
don't
can
think
do
a Jesus
this
devil would be
job.
that strong.
I won't fail like all my previous jobs. I'm not a bartender
In general, I think
anymore.
either way, I think they'll probably just lump up a God.
I'm Sal.
The different stuff.
I can do this job. I won't fail like all my previous jobs.
Yeah.
I'm not a bartender
Chainsaw
anymore.
Man's sick, dude.
I'm
fucking
Sal.
amazing.
I'm Sal.
Also, you know,
I can do this job.
I don't know
won't
if you,
fail
you
like
know,
all
we
my
have like an hour
previous
and a half to
jobs.
kill, or an hour to kill.
I'm not a bartender anymore.
I'm gonna
Sal.
rant about House for a bit if you're okay with that.
I'm Sal.
Yeah, sure, go for it.
I can do this job. I won't fail like all my previous jobs.
Fucking dog shit,
I'm not a
bro.
bartender
This show
anymore.
is terrible. I know. I don't think it's a. I look at the ratings on fucking Google or fucking whatever thing
I
shows
won't
up.
fail
It
like
shows
all
a
my previous jobs.
9.0 out of 10.
I'm not
Or
a
maybe
bartender
8.9.
anymore.
Let me look it up.
I'm Sal.
Let me look it up right now.
I'm Sal. I can do this job. I won't
on
fail
Rotten
like all
Tomatoes,
my
it's
previous
85%.
jobs.
You know, 85%
I'm
of
not a
people like it in the
bartender
audience.
anymore.
96% of people are
I'm
like, man, this
Sal.
show is great. It's a good show.
I'm Sal.
The show is fucking
I
terrible.
can do this job. I
Every
won't
fucking
fail like all my
episode is the
previous
same
jobs.
shit.
I'm not a bartender anymore.
It's the same fucking thing.
Sal.
It starts off with showing like, oh, the victim, whoever's gonna be
this job.
sick, or
I won't
right?
fail
And it's
like all
always
my
the person you
previous
expect.
jobs.
It's quote unquote
I'm not a
least expected.
bartender
It's always the
anymore.
debate, right? Let's say
I'm
there's a fat
Sal.
guy who's running, you know. He's like, oh, I'm fat, my heart's breathing. Oh,
I
my
can
chest
do
hurts.
this job.
Oh,
I
it'll
won't
turn out it's
fail like all
actually
my
the
previous
person on the other side of the
jobs.
street who got hit by a
I'm
bus.
not
You
a
know,
bartender anymore.
that's
I'm
who
Sal.
the episode's gonna revolve around.
I'm Sal.
And then
I can do this job.
that's like the
I
intro.
won't fail
Show
like
drops
all
his
my
fucking
previous
title
jobs.
screen shit, you know.
I'm not a bartender
And the intro is
anymore.
great. Like the intro song
I'm
and
Sal.
opening song, fantastic. It's the best part of the show to me.
I'm Sal.
Then, you know,
do this
we're introduced
job.
to House, our
I
doctor,
won't
who's
fail
just a
like
piece
all
of
my
shit.
previous jobs.
He's just a huge
I'm not a
scumbag.
bartender
And
anymore. I'm Sal.
he'll make some stupid asshole remark,
I'm
you know, and his
Sal.
team will be like, hey,
I
that's
can
House
do
being
this
House.
job.
Ooh, he's an asshole.
I
He
won't
solves the
fail
case
like all
every
my
time. You know,
previous
figures it
jobs.
out.
I'm not a
And then they're like,
bartender
alright,
anymore.
this
I'm
person
Sal.
got hit by a bus, but there's something wacky about the
I'm
disease.
Sal.
Like, I don't know, their foot
I can
looks
do
fucked or
this
some
job.
shit. Or
I won't fail like all
their
my
blood cells
previous
are wacky. I
jobs.
don't know. There's
I'm not a
some random
bartender
bullshit.
anymore.
So House can take the
I'm
case. There's
Sal.
something deeper to it. So, you know, if you're
I'm
a doctor,
Sal.
Ted, what's the first thing you
I
would
can
do
do this job.
when trying to figure
I
out the
won't fail
symptoms
like
of
all my
someone who's sick or
previous
whatever, you know?
jobs.
What's the first thing you would
I'm
do?
not a bartender anymore.
Step
Me?
one.
I'm Sal.
Yeah, well, if you were a doctor, what do you think step one is?
I'm Sal. I can do this job. I won't
check
fail
for
like all
a
my
pulse.
previous jobs.
You're wrong. It's break into
I'm
their
not
house
a bartender anymore.
and try to
I'm
figure
Sal.
out what's wrong with them.
Why?
Break
No,
into
you,
their
you,
house.
I'm
you usually
Sal.
want to check their pulse.
I can do this
No, sir, you
job.
break into their
I
house.
won't
That's
No,
step
fail
one.
like all
first
my
times in you
previous
check their
jobs.
pulse.
Okay,
I'm not a
sure, you
bartender
check it. But once they're
anymore.
all, situated.
Okay, after that, you check for their address, so you can break
I'm
into their
Sal.
house.
then you
I
break
can do
into their
this
house.
job.
No, you check
I
for the
won't fail
address.
like all
You don't
my
want to break into the
previous
wrong
jobs.
house.
I'm not a
They do.
bartender
They don't care.
anymore.
They break into people's
I'm
house.
No, but
Sal.
like if you break into the wrong house, you're not getting the right
I'm
person.
Sal. I can do this job. I won't
It's
fail
true.
like all my previous
They-
jobs.
yeah. Anyway,
I'm not a
I'm
bartender
pretty sure there's a
anymore.
couple episodes where like, oh,
I'm
we broke into
Sal.
the wrong house. Whoopsies. And there's no
I'm
negative
Sal.
repercussions from it. You know.
I can do this
They're like,
job.
we're a doctor.
I
We
won't
broke into your
fail
house.
like all my
Seems
previous
good.
jobs.
All right. No negative
not a
repercussions for
bartender
people breaking
anymore.
into your house.
I'm Sal.
Into your house as the victim or whatever.
I'm Sal.
That's all done.
I
You know,
can do
they'll
this
find like
job.
some hidden
I
clue or
won't
whatever.
fail
Ooh,
like all
maybe
my
it's this.
previous
You know,
jobs.
she got hit
I'm
by a
not a
bus, but really
bartender
her blood
anymore.
cells are magnetic, so
I'm
that way,
Sal.
you know, the bus was attracted to her. I don't know.
I'm Sal.
Some
I
shit
can
like
do
that.
this job. I won't fail like all my
And then
previous jobs.
they'll be like,
I'm not a
something's going
bartender
wrong.
anymore.
Next, we just gotta keep
I'm
pumping
Sal.
this victim or this person with steroids.
I'm
Give him all the
Sal.
steroids, you know?
I
Fucking
can do
feed
this
them with
job.
steroids. Then they'll
I
solve it.
won't
But
fail
the
like all my
steroids didn't
previous
work.
jobs.
House, what do we do?
I'm not a
You see,
bartender
their
anymore.
blood was magnetic, but
I'm
really,
Sal.
it was their fucking. The colon
I'm
was
Sal.
causing reverse polarity, so
I
you have to
can
get
do
this
this
done.
job.
We
I
fucked
won't
up.
fail like all my
That's even
previous
worse, House. What
jobs.
do we do?
I'm not a
And this goes on
bartender
for like back and
anymore.
forth, back and forth.
I'm
Meanwhile, this
Sal.
person's fucking dying. Is about to die.
I'm
And
Sal.
then you know, House has his
I can
fucking
do
like
this job.
romantic
I won't
relationship with like
fail
the
like
head
all my
person, whatever.
previous
It's like on and
jobs.
off thing, and then they do
I'm
some
not a
things, and his
bartender
partner or his
anymore.
co-worker Wilson,
I'm
you know,
Sal.
they have like a fucking prank each
I'm
other, you know,
Sal.
or whatever the fuck that goes
I
on.
can do this
Then
job.
House
I
has
won't
his house
fail
moment.
like
You
all
can
my
look at the
previous
screen, it's like I
jobs.
figured it out.
I'm not a bartender
And then
anymore.
they saw the
I'm
person
Sal.
is saved, but like I'm pretty sure like 60% of the
I'm
time the
Sal.
person is worse off
I can do
coming
this
into this
job.
hospital
I
than
won't
if they
fail
just
like
never
all my previous
they didn't show up
jobs.
at all.
I'm not a bartender anymore. I'm Sal.
And it's
I'm Sal.
here's what I'll say about House. It
I
has
can
great
do this
moments
job.
between characters,
I
you know,
won't
like
fail
House is a
like
piece
all
of
my
shit, makes
previous
things
jobs.
exciting when he's like
I'm not
shit
a
talking other
bartender
people, people like,
anymore.
oh fuck you, House. Like a
I'm
bunch of
Sal.
characters. The show is really good with like character
I'm
dynamics, but it's
Sal.
just fucking nonsense.
I can do this job.
And as
I won't fail like all
I'd say
my
season one was
previous
pretty
jobs.
good, but
I'm not a
they keep
bartender
trying to raise the
anymore.
stakes every
I'm
episode,
Sal.
so episodes start being fucking
I'm
insane.
Sal.
Like
I can do this job. I won't fail like
there's
all
one
my
episode
previous
where like a
jobs.
kid,
I'm not
you
a
know, he
bartender
thinks he's
anymore.
getting abducted by aliens,
I'm Sal.
right?
I'm Sal.
So he has visions of
I can
aliens,
do
and his
this
parents
job.
think like,
I
my
won't
son's
fail
crazy.
like all my previous
What's
jobs.
going on? He thinks he's getting
I'm not
abducted
a
by
bartender
aliens.
anymore. I'm
They do a
Sal.
bunch of shit, do the same fucking break into their houses,
I'm
try to
Sal.
figure it out. Turns
I
out
can do this job. I won't
when he
fail
was
like
in the
all my
womb, this
previous
kid,
jobs.
he had a twin
I'm
brother
not a bartender anymore.
who he absorbed,
I'm Sal.
but he didn't destroy him, so he became
I'm
like
Sal.
a chimera. So
I
he was
can do
controlling
this
different
job.
parts of this kid's
I
body.
won't fail like all my
basically.
previous jobs.
And then I forget how
I'm
it
not
ends.
a
They like
bartender
cut the
anymore.
cells out or some shit
I'm Sal.
or whatever.
I'm Sal. I can do this
But yeah,
job.
House is a bad
I
show.
won't
It's
fail
very
like all
entertaining
my
to watch,
previous jobs.
but it is a bad show.
I'm not a bartender anymore.
It's like a 3 out of 10.
I'm
This show
Sal.
fucking sucks. But I love watching it.
Okay,
I'm
wait,
Sal.
give me another.
I can
give me
do
another
this
plot.
job. I won't fail
Another
like
plot?
all my
There's,
previous jobs. I'm not a bartender anymore.
Trying to think of.
I'm Sal.
The thing is that so much of the plot I
I'm
just don't end
Sal.
up giving a shit about.
I can do this
So it's just
job.
like I don't care
I won't
what's
fail
going on.
like
I'm
all
trying
my
to remember.
previous jobs.
One
I'm
recent.
not a bartender anymore. I'm Sal.
Okay, you know, there's
I can do
the
this
episode
job.
starts with
I
a
won't
husband
fail
and a
like
wife.
all
They're
my
talking on the
previous
phone, you know.
jobs. I'm not a
Or
bartender
boyfriend and
anymore.
girlfriend are talking on the phone.
I'm
She's like,
Sal.
"Oh, I want to go see the girl's
Sal.
at her
I
job."
can do this
Right?
job. I
He's
won't
probably, "Oh, I
fail
thought we were
like
gonna go
all
see
my
the movies together."
previous
Like,
jobs.
nah, it's not. And
I'm
she's like,
not
"Oh,
a
I don't feel
bartender
so good. Oh,
anymore.
my head hurts.
I'm
Do you feel that? It
Sal.
feels like an earthquake's happening." Like, what? What are you talking
I'm
about?
Sal.
Turns out the whole
I
building
can do
collapsed and
this job.
she
I won't
was in
fail
the
like all my
destruction, right?
previous jobs. I'm not a
So
bartender anymore.
that's the premise
I'm
of the episode,
Sal.
right? So House is like,
I'm Sal.
whatever, we're gonna solve this
I
case,
can
try to
do
treat
this
this person, you
job.
know.
I
And
won't
then they
fail
think
like
like,
all my
uh-oh, she
previous
might be
jobs.
depressed because
I'm
we
not a
broke into their
bartender
house and found this
anymore.
piece of evidence that
I'm
shows she's
Sal.
depressed, or something. It's like, see,
I'm
you're a bad
Sal.
boyfriend because you didn't
I can do
know
this
that she was going
job.
through this
I
stuff.
won't fail like
Like,
all my
oh, she's
previous
allergic to this,
jobs.
you should have known this, and
I'm
they try
not
to
a
help her, but
bartender
they keep
anymore.
fucking up, you know.
I'm Sal.
And the whole episode
I'm
revolves around the
Sal.
fact like this
I
boyfriend,
can
he's
do
a piece
this
of shit.
job.
This
I
girl
won't
has so
fail
much
like all
issues and
my
stuff that
previous
she didn't
jobs.
even know about,
I'm not a
you
bartender
know.
anymore.
And then turns
I'm
out,
Sal.
they got the wrong person.
I'm Sal. I can do
That
this job. I won't
his
fail
girlfriend
like all
died
my
like 2 weeks,
previous
like a week
jobs.
ago, like at the
I'm
first
not a
time, because
bartender
the episode
anymore.
takes place over like a week.
I'm
Right?
Sal.
So she died in the fucking building
I'm
collapse.
Sal.
That's how the episode
I
ends.
can do this job.
It's like, whoops, we
I
got
won't
the wrong
fail
chick.
like all my
Sorry.
previous jobs. I'm
Like,
not a
oh,
bartender
you guys are
anymore.
great doctors, eh?
I'm
Fucking
Sal.
fantastic.
That's why you check the address first, right?
But they did.
Yeah, see, it's just common medical malpractice just to not check the address. You always check the address of the house.
Oh my god!
WebMD.
And then, because it's like, you know, it's like this a TV show. It also made me realize that, like, I'll get back to this point later, but yeah, TV is just terrible. And one of the things that made me realize, especially with House, right, was nothing. You always go back to the status quo, you know. House will always be like the head doctor, fucking elite man, even though he's a prick, right? He will always be that. Even though there'll be moments where he fucks up really badly. He's also a huge drug addict, by the way. I don't know if you know about that about
Yeah,
House.
I know. Like the
He's a
actual
huge
person is a crack addict. Yeah.
No, I mean the character.
No, character doesn't do drugs. Actor does.
Okay. The character does like a bunch of fucking painkillers.
What you think like fucking the guy just has bulgy eyes all the time? Come on. I'm not gonna go into a streak of like, hey, let's find a fucking WebMD guy with bulgy eyes. No, they're just gonna go into the downtown fucking Detroit or maybe even Cleveland and go like, hey, that guy talking to the wall in the corner over there, look at his eyes. Yeah, one's looking this way, one's the other. There's fucking chameleon man over here. Let's get him in.
Oof. Whatever. Hugh Laurie's a good actor. But yeah,
he is.
so
He is.
Yeah.
But
yeah. But yeah, House is a huge fucking painkiller, opioid addict, or whatever. I forget where I was going with this. It's right. So he'll be like he'll like do fucked up shit when he's on drugs or whatever. But then at the end of the day, he always comes back, even though he'll do something like, hey, this guy should be fired, right? But no, he always comes back, right? Even though like it makes no sense why he has so much power. Like he's the best doctor, but he's in charge of his like small team or whatever, but he's not in charge of like the whole hospital. That's like this other character or whatever. So it's like, why hasn't she fired him yet? Like I know he's the best guy, but like he's doing so much damage to this hospital. And there's even a plot line with another character called Foreman, or was it Foreman where this happened? So there's later in later seasons there's this character called Foreman. He's one of the so in the first 3 seasons there was this original crew that consisted of House, this character Foreman, Chase, and this other guy, and what's her name?
Whoop.
Fucking Foreman, Chase.
Hey, what's up?
Oh my god, I don't remember her name. Some other some other
Yeah, I
character.
don't actually have co-op
At
because
the end of
if
season
I
3, they
get
all
co-op,
split
I have
up
to
or whatever,
extend it
but
to
Foreman ends up
3 year
coming
sort of
back, and the other two
program.
characters
So
work in a different department in the hospital. So House
wrong
ends
with
up
that?
makes his
I
own new
won't be inside
team,
here
and he
for
does a
2
fucking
years.
tournament arc. And I'm not even joking, Kevin. He straight up has a tournament arc to see who he should hire. He's like, all right, we're gonna do points. We're gonna get these other doctors. Whoever has the most points, based off of my bullshit rule set, that's who we determine who.
Yeah, except
it's a whole fucking thing.
mine doesn't do that.
Anyway,
like, it's sort of like
new
either have
team.
diploma or I
Foreman
get co-op
ends
sort of
up
thing.
getting in a relationship with this character called, I forget her actual name, but everyone in the show
Because
calls her 13
okay,
because
if
that
I
was the
do
number
co-op, I'm
she
gonna be
got.
inside the
So 13.
school for 3
They're in a
years,
romantic
right?
relationship. She has Huntington's disease, it turns out. So Foreman tries to
Okay,
create a fucking
yeah, but like
try to
it
create a
seems like
cure
a
for
much more
Huntington's
riskier play
disease. You
than
know, the
just
whole
doing the
thing or
diploma and then
whatever.
getting out.
But he puts
you know?
her in the test study. And it's like, oh, that's a big no-no because romantic relationships, whatever the fuck, might get in the way, and it does. It's a whole thing. So the head person, Cuddy, is like, you messed up your study, and if I keep you here, you will be a disgrace to
Yeah,
this
but it's like
hospital.
if one branch
Where
of path doesn't
she
do
says
it,
something
and
like
then
that, and all I
have
could
to do
think
the
is like,
3 year.
how does this hospital still have a fucking reputation? Man, I just realized Kevin's on the phone. Isn't that rude, people? I wonder if you can even hear
That's
me.
pretty rude. Okay, I see what you mean. Yes, I see what you mean. Yep.
You can finish your phone call, Kevin. You know.
Thank you. Sure, yeah.
Anyway.
Okay, so but the thing
since Kevin's on a phone call,
right now
even
currently
I feel
probably
like this
gonna be
is a
graduating
bit.
like April-ish.
So
like,
yeah, house sucks, people. House is fucking bad.
Sorry? Because I don't, because it's still like an 8 month. Usually you prepare like 2 before,
yeah.
don't you?
Well, since Kevin's on a phone call, I think I'm gonna start sharing some knowledge with y'all.
Okay, I see.
So as I said earlier, I have been reading this book called Behave, where it deals with neurons and shit. And I'm not very far into this book, but it gives like a very brief, simplistic explanation of how like neurons work, and I was like, wow, this is pretty neat. So it gives like a basic example, I guess, of how the neurons work. Like it goes through the different parts of it, right? And a basic simplistic answer would be like,
yeah, for sure.
If you have a series of neurons, let's say A affects B neuron, right? It causes it to like activate or
Tag me on LinkedIn.
Activated,
I'll hit them up.
Right? It causes that to activate, but there will be.
Sick.
Hold on, am I thinking about this right? A to B.
So like, well, technically I'm in the middle of the podcast, but yeah, I'll check it out in like
an hour then
tops. Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's another neuron, which will activate B as well. Let's say C neuron.
C.
But when A is activated, A will inhibit this. No, A will activate C and B at the same time. Whatever. Basically, there's in the series of neurons, depending on how it works, is that if one activates the other. No, I can't remember how the diagram explained it. So A will activate B, and then C will inhibit B, but A activates C as well, and that will cause C to inhibit B, so you'll feel like a dull pain. That's how people get dull pains. I might be confusing which one, and then the opposite will be true if A inhibits C. Yeah, if A activates C and C inhibits B, and it's a different type of pain. I'm explaining this badly because I'm still reading through it. I'm trying to do my best, but yeah, fascinating stuff. Neurons, man.
Isn't it just like if B goes to A goes to B, C, B, D?
You know what? Let me grab the book. Cause I need a picture.
Okay, wait, sorry, what were you talking about? I was on the phone. Rocky just called me because it's work related. So
There.
yeah.
I thought you were doing a bit.
No. Well, I was, and then I wasn't. But hey, yeah, if you check out the stream, you get to see exactly what I say.
Yeah. If you can read lips, I guess.
No, because I muted you on Discord, or I muted myself on Discord, but I didn't mute myself on stream.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. So here's a diagram. I'll make a diagram.
You
for
wanna
too.
show me the diagram, or
Yeah. I'll make it on Paint. I'll make it on Paint.
Okay.
And then I'll post the image. So this is A, and then it goes like this, and this will be. Oh fuck! Hold on, I gotta redo this. So this is A. Then it goes like this, and that's B. Then it branches off here. This is C. My explanation forgot about D. That's what was tripping me up. And I'm also very bad at explaining things, which is the other problem. Oh, I should have put the like this. That's fine. This is plus here. And then this is minus. This is plus. It's minus. And then it goes like whoop. And that goes here. And then it's like this. And then it's like whoop. And it's like that. And then this goes like this. And then that is that. Okay. Beautiful. Beautiful. Oh, what is there anything spooky in there? No.
Sorry, give me
Hold on
a second here.
I'm gonna delete this one.
What's up?
Yep. I'm gonna do this so people won't know about my fucking desktop, you know? Here we go. This is what I'm gonna do.
Okay, alright,
bang,
sure.
There we go. That's the image.
Give me a few. Alright, see it. Alright, hello?
Hello.
Hello. This thing. Okay.
Yes.
Alright, let's see if I can paste it here. I can't paste it here. That means I have to paste it here. Alright.
Yes.
Let's add a display capture. How did I do this again? I think it was supposed to be media source. No. Window capture. That's the thing. I actually don't have. Okay. Okay. So this is what we have.
Yes. Well, I'm just reading the explanation of D because that one, for some, my brain just can't understand it. Okay, I get it now. So, so there's A and D. Let's say the A, C, B, and D. These are all different types of neurons, right?
Sure.
A gets activated right when you get a type of pain, right? Let's say there's pain, right?
Yep.
This means that the main one, it will go from A to B, and the plus sign means it activates it, so you'll feel pain, right? Oh, did I show? Yeah, it's kind of shown in the diagram. So A to B, it activates neuron B, right?
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, A goes to C, which activates neuron C, right? C gets activated. But C goes to B, and when C goes to B, the action is that when C gets activated, it releases something, a neurotransmitter that inhibits B. So B starts to slow whatever process was activating for B. It starts to slow down because C tries to inhibit it, right?
Okay.
So what the end result is that you feel like a dull pain inside, right?
Sure.
Or like you get pricked with a
And
needle.
then D inhibits C, so then it's sharp pain. Gotcha.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, well, I mean, it's a simplistic drawing. I'm sure, it gets more complicated than that. But I was like, huh, that's pretty neat. That's pretty interesting. The way neurons and shit work, man.
If you like this thing, you'll love Minecraft Redstone.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm serious. It's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to learn about hydrogen bonding?
Hydrogen. I vaguely remember hydrogen bonding from high school,
Yeah.
man.
Do you? What's so special about hydrogen bonding?
I don't remember, bro. Like I said, it's like I'm sure you explained it, maybe memories will start coming back. But honestly, it's been deleted, bro. That is information deleted.
Okay, so here's the thing, right?
Yeah.
Here's a thing or two about hydrogen bonding, and here is why this is not what my degree consisted of, but interesting thing. Why is ice heavier, or why is water heavier than ice? I got a question for you. Which weighs more, a kilogram of ice or a kilogram of water?
That's right, ice.
That's right, water. Because water is heavier than ice.
Water is heavier than ice. Yeah, because ice floats. Damn, you beat me.
Yeah. Okay. Right. So it's because of hydrogen bonding, right?
Kilogram.
No, Nate. Okay. So what we have is what H2O looks like? Of course you do. It looks like this, sir. Right?
Looks like a.
Yeah, and then of course over here you have those denote two pairs of electrons. Okay.
The minus, yes.
Well, it's not supposed to be minus. It's supposed to be dot dot, but then if we do dot dot, it's just denoted as a line, right?
Okay.
That's just chemistry. So then in order to say that something is a bit more polar, we do delta minus, and then over here we say delta plus, okay?
Yeah.
That means it's slightly more positive, slightly more negative. But since the electronegativity, of difference between oxygen and hydrogen is so great, this is going to be really big, right? It's super polar. Now, when we have a dipole-dipole interaction, what we have, dipole means dipolar, right? This is how we denote a positive end, negative end, right, of a molecule. So dipole-dipole interaction, we have the positive end attracting the negative end and vice versa of another molecule that is also polar. With hydrogen, what we have, or with water, what we have is it's essentially dipole-dipole interaction, but it's special because it's super powerful.
Yeah.
We have this, right? Where this attracts this hydrogen and also another hydrogen of another water. So that makes it the interstitial. No, it's not interstitial, but it makes it so that it's super dense, right, in liquid form. Now, when we actually have a solid, what we have is we have crystallization of water. Now, a crystallization of water, you could think of it as a cube, all right? So let's just say that this is one molecular unit, right?
Okay.
What we can have, let's see if I can still draw a cube here. So what we have is very, very basic. The most basic one, this usually isn't the case, but if every single point here, every single vertex or vertice is a molecule. Okay, so we have one water molecule here, one water molecule here. You get the idea, right? So if you look at how we stack stuff, right, it'd just be like stacked like this, right? And then of course it goes back like that, goes there, and then of course it's going to be one down here, right? This is called simple cubic. I'm just going to use simple cubic for all intents and purposes. It's just easier to explain with this. Usually what we have is we have face-centered cubic or hexagonal packing. But simple cubic has a very easy way to determine the lattice length. So every edge here is called one lattice length, and we could also call this the interstitial radius as well, because it's from one. Sorry.
Why is it a cube? Is it just how it be?
It's how we model it, right? So
Okay.
more realistically, it would actually be a hexagonal prism.
Okay.
So
True.
so yeah, once we get into hexagonal prisms, it becomes a bit harder, but it's actually a more realistic way of modeling it. So this is the very ideal case. Almost nothing is actually like this.
Mhm.
Yeah, so but this is, we call this usually denoted as A, right? Because it's the lattice length, right? So
Yeah.
lattice length. Length. And usually we use angstroms, right? So angstroms is this thing. It's that symbol, right?
Yeah.
And that's 10 to negative 10 meters.
Mhm.
So nano would be 10 to negative 9, angstrom would be 10 to negative 10.
Mhm.
So basically this lattice length right here is actually larger than the length from here to here because of the polar or dipole-dipole interaction, making
Mhm.
it essentially more dense than ice, because ice would
Yeah.
be a crystal, be a cubic crystal.
Mhm.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Of course, there's also other ways of figuring, like in, I remember material science. It's like, okay, how many molecules are inside one lattice, right? So over here,
Yeah.
we would actually count. It would be one, right? So this one would have a density. Well, not density, but like think of it like it's a 1-to-1 ratio of lattice to molecule,
Yeah.
because every corner takes up 1/8 of a molecule, right?
Yeah.
That's actually inside of the lattice. Now, if we have something face-centered cubic, which is actually the closest packing, right? We
Mhm.
would have something like this. So we would have one here, we'd have one here, we'd have one here, here, in the back as well, one on the bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? And then of course,
Mhm.
then we would have 3, and this is how oranges are actually stacked. So if we take, so like an orange here, right? Usually, so if we do the bottom portion, right, like this, there's room in the center for one, right?
Yeah.
Or sorry, that would be body-centered cubic, right? And it'd be here, 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 and here. So this would be 2, right? Because we got all the vertices and we got one in the center. Face-centered cubic says we shift it back 1. So essentially, this is half, right?
Mhm.
And over here, this would be half. Here, this would be half. Over here, this would be half. And of course, we have 1/2 on the top and 1/2 on the bottom. So 6 sides, 6 divided by 2, 3. Now we have 3 molecules per lattice. So yeah. Or was it 4 molecules per lattice? Do we include the vertices as well? I forgot. But anyways, it's usually SC, BCC, and FCC. And of course, if you take year 2 material science, you learn about hexagonal packing, which
Cool.
is actually even more complicated, which I completely forgot. But
Right,
the
that's
lattice, so all this lattice nonsense, right? You actually have to use coordinates for, right?
nice.
Yeah, and also Miller indices, which I completely, I'll be honest, I don't. If I read up on it, I could probably remember, but I don't remember it. It's supposed to represent exactly the orientation of the lattice, not exactly the not how it's packed. So yeah.
True.
hmm
Nice, man.
You
That's
want to
pretty
learn
dope.
about more materials since I'm here?
More.
Yeah, you do. Okay, so now we're going to talk about Young's modulus, which honestly, it's a very elementary topic, right? It's used for a lot of stress and strain tests. So first of all,
Okay.
what's stress? I'm not talking about like you can't go to sleep every night because of the voices in your head. Stress is basically how much pressure you put on something, right? Like the pressure
Yes.
of your parents putting on you to become a better person and to move out. So that's stress. It's pressure. Now pressure has um, a standard unit, right? Like
Mhm.
meters. Unlike Fahrenheit, unlike anything Americans use, it has a standard unit. So the standard unit for pressure is Pascal, and Pascal is it's
Painter.
1 Newton. So Newton is the standard unit for force divided by 1 meter squared. So it's basically force over area, right? And that's what pressure is. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what's strain then? You definitely strained yourself before. You work in a warehouse, right? What's strain?
Yeah, I've been strained.
Okay,
I can tell this is a bit because it's going to be some science-y equation, but yeah.
No, it's not. It's really not. Okay, what's strain? What's strain?
What, like, like you strained your ankle? You like damaged a part or something?
Yeah, so we can use it to measure damage, right? Strain is, we just say what the material is before, or what the material is now. So X. So usually we use length for this sort of graph. X is the length of the material currently minus X naught, which is the length of the material under no stress. Okay?
Okay.
That's what strain is. Now,
Peak.
a stress strain, right, we denote with sigma usually. So this is Young's modulus, or stress strain modulus. Sigma is equal to, I don't want to use X. So it's equal to stress divided by strain, right?
Okay.
And this is equal to y. Let's just use y. Y being how much pressure or how much stress we're putting on it. Now, pressure, it could be newtons. So you think of it as a push, but a force is a push or a pull, right?
Yes, sir.
So it doesn't really matter. We could say negative newtons, but then we change our frame of reference, so now it's positive newtons. So y minus yo, which is the amount of stress we put on it, yo usually being 0, right? Divided by x minus x naught, which is how much the material has changed.
Yes.
Okay, so over here we have a stress graph, or stress on the y-axis, and strain on, or actually, is it the other way around? Yeah, it's the other way around, sorry. We have strain on the y-axis and stress on the x-axis. Okay? So if we have material coming from here, it usually looks something like this. And then like that. Okay? Now, let's divide this graph into bits. So over here to here, here to here, and of course, the last bit here, right?
Mm-hmm.
3 parts to it. So over here, this is pretty much linear, right? Yeah?
Oh, like the first section? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wait. Is it strain? No. Okay. Maybe I did get this wrong. Maybe it's stress over strain. Maybe it is stress over strain.
Uh-oh.
And this is strain. But it's okay. The graph stays the same. The shape stays the same. Because of this thing here. So the reason I say it's stress over strain is because of Young's modulus, which is stress strain, right? So over here, we could get the Young's modulus by taking the slope of the linear portion, okay? Now, the reason I say, as long as it's linear, it's something called elastic deformation, or elastic something. It's like damage, but it's a synonym for damage. But essentially, it's the elastic zone. Okay?
Yeah, I get it.
So you know what this zone means?
What it means?
Yeah.
As strain go up, stress go up.
Okay, yeah,
right?
But what's so different? What's the special thing about this zone? Okay, so this zone over here is called the inelastic zone.
Yeah.
So what's the difference between the elastic zone and the inelastic zone?
Wait, the inelastic zone is only that part?
Sorry?
It's not. The inelastic zone is only the second segment, not the second and third.
Yep.
Oh. Well, I'm assuming it's because there's like a very clear relationship between, like, if you get 1 unit of strain, you get 1 unit of stress. There's a very clear relationship between the two of them. Well, in the inelastic zone, it's starting to weaken, I guess, right? You'll need more units of strain, for example, for more stress or whatever, for the same amount of stress.
Okay, so the elastic zone has it so that you're not doing permanent damage to the material. Okay.
Okay. Does it relate to the material? Okay. Well,
Yeah. So at any point in the elastic zone, if you let go, it'll go back to the way it was before, right?
That's what I see. I see.
Yeah.
So then when it's inelastic, and you reach a certain threshold, and that's why there's a third segment, which is the
Yeah.
damage, right? I would
The
guess.
third. So okay, let's not get to the third segment. The second segment is when you're actually doing permanent damage to the material, right?
Okay.
So now you're really actually doing irreversible damage, right? Over
Yes.
here is called the ultimate tensile strength. Ultimate tensile strength. This means at that point, the material is no good. Okay.
Okay.
At that point, you don't use the material for anything anymore.
Okay.
Right? Because why does this part go down all of a sudden?
I'm assuming because it breaks.
Yeah.
Or it's trying to break.
No, this is exactly when it breaks.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? So I'm not too sure what this segment's called, but the reason it goes down is because of the machines that are measuring it. What it does is it pulls, and once it gets to ultimate tensile strength, it'll just stretch all of a sudden, right? So no matter how hard the machine pulls, it won't ever get back up to that much stress again.
True.
Right? So then that's why the machine, literally the stress just goes down, right? Because the strain it's just gone.
Okay.
Right? So this is essentially, well, technically speaking, this is the breaking point, right? That's the ultimate tensile strength.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like the breaking point, the breaking point's the end point where there's nothing left. Okay, true.
Yep. And now, here's a fun thing. I'm gonna draw a few graphs here, and you're gonna tell me what material it is. Okay. So,
yes, this is good.
It's honestly, it's pretty fun analyzing this.
As an expert and who knows many things about this type of
but
stuff,
just use this sort of pattern, right? So I'm not going to label the thing. It's stress strain. You get it, right?
Yes, sir.
So let's just say they all go up to 10, right?
Okay.
So let's do this one first. Okay.
I'm watching on Twitch, by the way, so there might be a delay.
Yep.
That's why I'm not. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, this one's not really accurate. I'll let it break like right here, I guess, or something like that. Or actually, no. Okay, hold up. This one's actually not accurate. Something like that. Okay. So go ahead. Which is which?
So when you mean by materials, would you mean just like any type of material at all? Like wood,
so there's certain categories.
metal.
Yeah, so metal would be one of them, right? Polymer, ceramic.
Polymer. So, okay, so straight up materials like that you would be using in construction or whatever.
Yeah.
Let's say okay.
Here, I'll share my screen so you can actually see it a little bit better. So it's real time.
Real time, yeah, that's fair.
So, what does the first one look like? It takes a lot of stress, right? But it's literally
like
no
concrete?
strain.
Like concrete?
Not really. Well, okay, technically, but no. Like, what category does it go in?
What category?
So I'm literally giving you a category: polymer, metal, or ceramic.
Oh, okay. So those are the three categories.
Yep.
I guess polymer. What was it? Polymer, ceramic, and what?
Metal.
Metal.
Yep.
Ceramic, probably.
Ceramic? Why do you say that?
Yeah. Because like metal, Because I feel like ceramic just tends to, you can put a lot of pressure on it, but then it kind of breaks easily, doesn't it? Right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's
so
why.
you could have, so ceramic is what we say, it's very brittle, right?
Yeah.
So it has very less, or not very less. Um, it can't be strained a lot, right? You
Mhm.
can't bend a fucking plate, right?
Yes.
It's just gonna break. So yeah, that's ceramic. You can put a lot of pressure on the plate,
Yeah.
but you can't bend it.
Yeah.
So yeah, the first one's ceramic. Next two, I mean, it's pretty easy.
Well, I gotta remember what polymer is because I don't remember how that
Plastic.
looks. Elastics?
Yeah, polymers is
Okay.
plastics.
Oh, plastics.
Yeah.
Um. Ooh. Hmm. I want to say this one's no, this one's polymer. I think
Which one is this
the
one?
middle one.
The middle one's
Middle one.
polymer?
Yeah.
All right, so what's the y-axis?
Stress.
Stress. Okay. So what could take stress more, polymers or metals?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. It would be metal then.
Yeah, it'd be metal, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's very balanced. And then the last one there would be polymer, right? You notice how I put the strain like really far out, right?
Okay.
So yeah, so polymers, it's very, very elastic, or technically inelastic, right? So it has a very long like inelastic zone. Um,
Does it?
well, it's supposed to be. So it's supposed to go like that and
Yeah.
then over.
Well, but why though? Doesn't like
It's
plastic
because
break pretty easily?
it breaks pretty easily, right? So the ultimate tensile strength isn't that much,
Oh,
right?
you're right. It's not that high. I see.
Yep. But the
I
strain,
see.
so it stretches a lot.
I see. You're right.
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
So out of like essentially the hardest thing would be ceramic, right? Because we're
Mhm.
looking at the Young's modulus.
Mhm.
Ceramic has the highest slope, metal has the second highest, and of course plastic is just trash, right? Now here's the thing. Which one do you want to stop a bullet?
Ceramic probably. Maybe.
Why?
Cause
Because that's how
it takes
Young's.
the most. It takes the most. I think. I mean, I'm assuming it takes like the most stress, right? Or no, yeah, most
Okay.
stress.
All right. Here's a better question then. You're right. It would stop the bullet really nice,
Yeah.
but which one would you make a car out of?
Man, I mean, they used to make
Which okay, even better question. Which one would you use to reduce impact?
probably the polymer then.
Why?
Because it's technically it lasts longer, right? Like the because of how flexible it is, right? It could probably last the longest.
It lasts the
Well, wouldn't
longest? So are
yeah,
you
because of
No, I'm just saying about a one-time impact, you know?
yeah, but like as you said earlier, like right, like polymer has like low fucking stress, so if it reaches a point, it breaks, right? So why would it help with the stopping a bullet if the bullet like is higher than the thing to because the like a bullet will go through like a piece of plastic.
Yeah, but so now the question is like which one would you use to reduce impact, right?
To like distribute the fucking damage. Yeah,
Or
yeah,
lessen
that
the
makes sense with
impact.
polymer because like upon the initial impact, the whole thing won't break apart. I guess like with ceramic, it'll instantly break.
Okay, so you're almost there. I think you had it with the time thing. It's because of the time, right? So
Time.
before, no cars.
Mm-hmm.
Old cars, they had like really chunky fronts, right?
Yes, sir.
Full
Go
metal,
concussion,
right?
baby.
Like just pure metal,
Yes, sir.
right? Why doesn't that work? Why does that
Well,
kill people?
Well, because if you're inside of it, the car will be fine. You will not.
Yeah, exactly. So, okay, well, why?
Well, because then, and when you go through if you hit something, there's the initial impact, but there's also the forces that play on you, right? And there's opposite and equal forces, so you get thrown towards the windshield of the car. And if the windshield of the car is fucking metal, you get a fucking concussion or worse.
All right, so what do you think? So when you think about it, it's not exactly how to put it. It's not about, you're right, there are forces that play on you, but it's the
Mhm.
momentum of the car that you keep, or of yourself that you
Yeah,
keep, right? So
yeah,
unless there's something over here grabbing onto you, like a seatbelt or something, you're going to get
yeah.
ejected, right? And
Yes, sir.
if there's a abrupt stop, that means
Yeah.
the force over time, right? Time is very small. So I'm not too sure exactly what this is called. I'm just gonna call it impact. Yeah, I'm just gonna
Time of
call it
impact.
impact, right? For now. I'm pretty sure there's a proper term for this. It's not
Mhm.
impulse, I don't think. Impulse is time derivative of acceleration, but impact is force over time, okay?
Yeah.
So the bigger the impact, the smaller time frame it takes and the bigger force it is, right? Now we're never going to change the amount of force something's going to get hit with, right? Because this is essentially constant for most cases, but we can change the amount of time it takes for it to actually go through, right?
Hmm.
So if we have a ceramic, the time it takes, it's going to stop the bullet. It's really going to stop the bullet, right? The
Yes,
car's not
sir.
going to break. So, but the thing is, it's going to stop the bullet so well that the time it takes for the bullet to stop is very, very small, right? So that's why you might have a ceramic plate, but you're going to have padding behind it. The padding
Yeah.
is the thing that keeps the time thing in check. So if we have
Okay.
something made of plastic, what's going to happen is the car is going to crash. It's going to squish the plastic, so the
Hmm.
strain is going to essentially lower it, giving
Yeah.
the impact more time to use. The force is still going to be exact same, right? Except it's going to have
Yeah.
more time, so the impact is going to be less,
True. That
right?
makes sense.
Yeah,
That makes
so
sense.
that's why metal, like it's metal is just a great go-to, but plastic, you want to have a little bit of plastic to cushion it,
Yeah.
right?
So there's less damage on you. True. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
Now, if you get the outside is metal, the inside is plastic, you could still sort of do the same thing. It's essentially like a soft inside with a hard shell, right?
Hmm.
But of course, you want the hood to be squished. That's how you
Yeah.
prevent death. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Now, you can't really prevent death if you're going fucking 120 in dairy because you're a dumbass, but you could try. So yeah, that's the science behind material strain and stress. You got like intro to Mech Eng 1, I guess. Now, if you really want to learn about it, you can learn about polymer science, which you're not missing out on. Name dropping Street Monkey. Dairy Street is just fucking huge. Like, don't worry. I don't even live on Dairy. Like, we're not even close to Dairy. Anyways,
Honka S, bro. Then again, there's like a bunch of King Streets. I'm
I'm
pretty
in
sure.
Milton, dude. Population like fucking 7. All right, like what do you want?
It's the internet, Kevin. Just be careful.
Oh, be careful, man. Be careful. You remind me of my friend John, right? John Collins. We added his dad on Facebook. Bunch of
Yeah.
us friends added his dad on Facebook. His dad messages John and goes like, "Did you get hacked or something? So maybe my account got hacked. Bunch of guys that are mutual friends with you added me. Watch out out there on Facebook." Like, man, whatever. I was too short for that shit. Anyways,
But yeah,
yeah,
doesn't I'm not wrong about that. There's like a ton of King Streets that exist in the world, right?
yeah, King Street, Queen Street, Main Street. Main Street's
Main
probably the
Street,
main.
yeah, Main Street,
I mean,
Main
we got
Street.
one in Milton as well. There's not a lot of Aaron Mills or Mississauga roads. Mississauga Road is probably like one of the more out there ones. Wellington. I feel like there's a couple Wellingtons.
Wellingtons.
Yeah, Young Street. There's only one. No, there's probably more Young Streets than one.
No, there's probably way more Young Streets, bro.
Yeah, but anyways,
Isn't there like a fucking in some alleyway or not some, in some like lonely island? There's like a this, there, and that street.
really?
I think so.
No idea. But yeah, you got any more questions or?
No, I'm good. Yeah, it's in Canada. There is this. Hold on, what is it? This, there, and the other street.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where's my mouse? Where's my mouse? What else do I know? You want a lecture on foreign body response because you're so into bio all the time?
Foreign body response.
Yep.
Like from the immune system?
Yep, that's the one.
Yeah, man, that's pretty neat. But like we also got like 4 minutes, Kevin.
Yeah, we sure do. So foreign body response is your body goes like, wow, that's foreign, and then it gets all the Republicans together, and the Republicans all just basically dogpile on them. We call them white blood cells. Dogpile on
Yes,
them
sir.
and basically kill them and overheat the crap out of them. And after
Yeah,
that,
but that does. Yeah.
after that, you get inflammation, basically riots. You get riots. You get maybe some fever pitches or some shit, right? Because it's technically toxic. And then after that settles down, then you're good. Yeah, that's it.
Sometimes the immune system fails, though. It doesn't realize the foreign body.
No, it doesn't. Never does that.
Never.
Never.
Everyone's immune system is always perfect. And definitely doesn't fuck up sometimes.
The reason people get AIDS isn't because of an immunodisorder or whatever the fuck they call it. It's because they need aid with their immune system, because your immune system is way too goddamn strong. Also, the white blood cell is responsible for clogging up blood flow. So if you have like lymphoblastic leukemia, that means you basically don't have a lot of white blood cells. So if you get a nosebleed, you're going to bleed forever.
Yes. Or hemophilia, right? That's the other one.
Hemophilia just means like you like blood. Sure.
No, isn't hemo. Hold on. Hemophilia. Isn't that the one where like if you're. Yeah, hemophilia is usually an inherited bleeding disorder in which the blood does not clot properly. So like if you get a cut, you're gonna keep bleeding, buddy.
Yep. Well, that's such a weird thing because hemo is usually what you just use to describe blood, right? Philia is like you like blood.
Yeah, you like blood.
You like blood.
You like blood.
And then of course if you go like hemophobic, that means you're scared of blood.
Very scared.
Very. Anyways, yeah, I'm gonna end it here because we got nothing else to talk about. Is that cool? I gotta do something.
I mean, we don't have anything else to talk about. We can keep talking about more of this shit, but you just like cutting it off at 1:30. 1 hour 30 minutes.
Yes, you're right, and also I have to do.
Okay.
So yeah, it's my fault. My bad.
I mean, it's not your fault. I'm just saying. You were giving me shit last time and be like, we're a professional. We have to do it end at 1:30.
Yeah, we do have to end it at 1:30.
Yes. 1 hour 30 minutes.
So actually no, I actually do have an outro. Dominic.
You have an outro?
I do have an outro. So if you're on Twitch right now, you just put it up because here comes the outro.
I'm excited.
You like the outro?